To begin my speech, I'd like you all to imagine a scenario. You're in class taking a test, and suddenly you feel as if you have no control of your body. You start to hyperventilate, you start shaking uncontrollably. And then finally, you have to force yourself to get up just to run to the trash can because you have to throw up. That was my first experience with a panic attack. Now, symptoms do differ from person to person, and some of you may have experienced one yourself. Even though panic attacks have become more common, that does not mean that they are not harmful to the person who experiences them. Through my own personal experience and the extensive research I've done, I can confidently tell you what a panic attack is, the causes, the effects, and viable treatment options for it. Now, some of you may already know what a panic attack is, but for those who don't, it is an intense episode of fear or anxiety because of a perceived threat. As stated before, symptoms will differ from person to person, but the main physical symptoms are racing heart, sweating, chills, trembling, difficulty breathing, dizziness, chest pain, and nausea, which is a very long list. Now that we do know what a panic attack is and the symptoms, you may be wondering, what causes a panic attack to occur? Through my research, I have found that there are two main reasons for a panic attack to occur: through genetics and the environment that surrounds the person. For genetics, it is mainly caused by panic disorder, which is a disorder that increases your susceptibility to having a panic attack. And it also increases the rate at which they reoccur. Panic disorder does pass from family member to family member, and if a parent does have panic disorder, they have a 40% chance to pass it on to their offspring. And now, genetics is a major factor to having a panic attack occur, but the main reason for it to occur is the environment that surrounds a person. If you aren't in a stressful situation, being either test taking or just a situation you put yourself in through procrastination, it will increases your chance for a panic attack to occur. But it's not just the current situation you're in, but it's also just even the place you live in that could increase the rate at which you have a panic attack. And in the United States, 27.3% of people will have at least one panic attack in their life, which is only second to New Zealand, which is 27.4%, only losing by 0.1%. Now that means almost a quarter of you will at least experience one panic attack in your life. Even though the prevalence may be very high, that does not mean panic attacks are not harmful for the person who experiences them. There are two main consequences to a panic attack occurring. They increase the severity of other mental disorders, and they impede the daily life of the person who has them. If you do have social anxiety, it is a common symptom to have panic attacks as well, but this will only make treatment harder for the disorder. Because it is much harder to treat these disorders with having panic attacks as a symptom, it only worsens the effects of the mental disorder on the person who has them. And according to the scholarly journal Depression and Anxiety in 2016, panic attacks are found to increase symptom severity, comorbidity rates, and suicide rates. Comorbidity rates refers to the chance of a person having two existing mental disorders at once. Now, it may be hard for persons with already existing mental disorders, but for those who just experience panic attacks, it often interferes with their daily life. They live in constant fear of a panic attack occurring because they will not be able to control themselves in that situation, and they don't know how it will affect that situation. And according to the Chicago Tribune in 2023, for people who have experienced a panic attack, they may begin to fear the symptom themselves, such as being out of breath. This means some people will even avoid exercise just because they fear that being out of breath may cause a panic attack to occur. Now, panic attacks is only worse for people with pre-existing heart conditions because panic attacks affect the way your heart palpitates. That means if you have pre-existing heart conditions, panic attacks could be potentially fatal because it may cause a heart attack to occur after it. Now, even though panic attacks are very harmful to the person who experiences, there are viable treatment options for it. One of the main treatment options being cognitive behavioral therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy is where the therapist will work with you to change your mindset and to create a more positive mindset so that you do not experience a panic attack in a stressful situation. This means that even in a stressful situation, you'll most likely look on the bright side so that a panic attack does not occur. Another treatment option found is in pharmaceutical drugs called selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. And now that you know these two treatment options, you're probably like, which would be the best for you if you do have a panic attack? And according to the scholarly Journal of Anxiety Disorders in 2021, it found cognitive behavioral therapy worked better for people who had panic attacks based on their emotional state, whereas SSRIs work better for people who had panic attacks based on stimulus-driven panic attacks. Now, even though these two treatment options are important, the main treatment option that should be focused on is self-prevention. Do your best to try and avoid stressful situations as much as possible. And two ways to do this is through scheduling, so you aren't afraid of anything that comes up, and meditating to help relieve stress when it does occur. All in all, it is best to avoid stressful situations because of the adverse effects that come with panic attacks. Now, before I end my speech, I'd all like you to think about a time where you could have avoided a stressful situation and how you could have avoided it so that it does not occur in the